we're live on Instagram, and so right now, this Instagram is the Galileo Travel Instagram, which you guys are going to be watching. So let's kind of get to the real stuff. Okay, so
yeah, we'll learn a lot about what it's about.
Yeah. So this is all about how you'll be able to use crypto and make some money and be able to travel the world and get private jets and all kinds of stuff, all for, well, not necessarily free, but more easily than usual.
Well, helping the local
industry. Absolutely, helping the local industry. And we're starting in Bali, so of course we're in Bali.
Yeah, that's an exciting project. Is it ready?
Yep. Ready?
3, 2, 1.
Okay.
And action.
Okay. Hi and welcome to this new episode of The Light Leaders. Today I'm with Arthur Kamardi. Arthur is one of the most influential thought leaders in organizational culture in 2021. As a best-selling author and founder of the Directive Communication Psychology, Arthur's methodologies have influenced massively the leadership development industry. You're the author of 13 books, including Amazon's #1 new release, Game On, Reinventing Organizational Culture,
yeah.
with gamification.
There you go.
His innovation instruments, tools, assessments, and games have a visible return on investment on effective behavior modification, engagement, and productivity. But today, we'll mainly talk about your new project.
That's right. So everything that you just read is completely irrelevant to what we're going to be talking about today.
It's a bit relevant though, because I'm quite interested in how someone who were so much into that corporate space uses blockchain now and NFTs, and what drew you to it, rather than being a hardcore coder, crypto anarchist who wants to take power back from our government.
I forgot my mask.
The anonymous mask. And so yeah, that new project is Galileo Future Travel.
Yes, which can be found at galileo.holiday.
Galileo.holiday. And that uses blockchain technology to support the tourism industry through the cryptocurrency and NFTs.
NFTs, that's the key.
A hot topic.
Yeah, and people are just totally not understanding the real potential of NFTs, which is super cool.
Yeah, and for me, that's really interesting. NFTs, what can we use them for? Also, having someone who uses the blockchain for his new venture, but not, I believe, in an ideological way. Meaning, you use it, those NFTs or blockchain, just because it works better, and you're pretty agnostic about it.
Yeah, basically, yeah, that's true. But also think about this, okay? Right now, okay, I mean, Galileo Holiday or Future Travel is about literally taking what is the dip, if you will, okay, which is right now tourism.
Yeah.
Tourism is at its maximum dip ever. All right, so buy low, sell high. I mean, it's not really a new concept, right? So buy the dip, sell high. So if you're thinking about cryptocurrency, that fits right in. But here's the thing. Let's say that you are in a job and you get paid money, okay? Or let's say you are doing crypto and you make a bunch of money, okay? Or let's say that you inherit money from your aunt. At the end of the day, most people are going to use at least some of that money for traveling. So it doesn't matter where, in this way, you can make money and travel all kind of at the same time.
Yes. And right now, definitely, tourism is quite down, especially here in Bali.
Exactly. Which means
COVID, and it's a huge opportunity.
Opportunity, exactly. Plus, okay, let's look at the actual problem, right? So it's not just about making money, but right now, because there is no tourism in Bali, and that 82%, according to the Bali governor, of industry is connected to tourism. That means that there's a lot of people here that are totally screwed, okay? And, okay, let's just look at the pride element. I mean, you have to get rice from the local banjar. I mean, how do you feel about that? That sucks, man. If you're a human being, you don't want to go begging for shit. Okay, so number one, a lot of organizations, a lot of places have to close, or at least reduce their staff. Why? Because they have no money.
Yeah, we've had actually Made Jamil Yaza. He's doing a program called Plastic Exchange.
Yes, I know him. He is awesome.
He talks about the dignity, and that's why he likes also to get people to collect plastic for the rice. But obviously, that's still pretty basic in a way that's very helpful, and I love that in him. But we also want economy to be flourishing in different ways.
And the thing is that his project also does a lot of good for Bali and ultimately tourism, because you're cleaning the place up, right? And it's also a matter of pride in your own place. But so you've got this situation where these organizations, villas, hotels, whatever, they don't have money because there's no vehicle for people to get paid now for later.
And you have one yourself. You have a beautiful place.
Yeah, we have Avalon, and we also have Serenity in north of Ubud. So these places, right now, again, I mean, there's no real tourism. So what happens is that you can create, if you can get money now for travel later. Okay, there's a lot of hotels that take a voucher, but there's no way to do anything with a voucher. Right? I mean, you're stuck with that hotel, and if you're doing some Airbnb or Booking.com thing, book the date, and then you get paid when they come, if they come, which is a year in the future possibly. Okay, and so therefore nobody gets the money now that they actually need. Now, with an NFT, it becomes a tradable, sellable asset. So if I buy the Bulgari hotel that normally costs $6,000, and I buy it for what they were recently selling their weekend per night package of $580, I mean that's 10x if you're talking about cryptocurrency, right? So I buy it even if I go and say, hey, I'll buy 100 rooms, okay? But you give them to me at X amount, then 400, okay? Right now, why not, okay? The thing is that later on, they're going to be able to, so the people that buy these, when it goes up to 6,000 again, which, sometime before the end of 2025, that means I could literally go and I could sell that same NFT, because that same asset, for even $5,000, people would buy it. Why? Because they save money. And then I've just made, quite a bit of money on it, right? So the asset becomes the NFT becomes an asset that you can keep, trade, or use when any time in the future, and that's where the difference is. And the benefit to the owners of the hotels and villas, statistically, 42% of people that have some kind of hotel voucher never use them. So even if you sell it for that much, chances are that almost half are not ever going to even show up, even in the next 5 years.
Do you think that'll still be the case with the NFT?
It will be. Yeah. It will be. I mean, people will have it in their wallets.
They'll forget about it.
But it's like, it's not that they forget. It's just like, we should go. Or we should really go. But now we got this. The kids came up with flu. We got this. Okay, it's always next time. No problem, next time. And then you forget.
And so so here I'm interested in tourism going low here in Bali and how we can also help at the moment. It's really interesting. I'm interested in why you use crypto and NFT and how that fits in the picture. And I'm also interested in just, as a company, like what's the, let's say how you build this as a company, as a marketplace, a bit Airbnb style, and how you need, because I used to consult and work in startups, and when you build this company, you need offer and demand, and sometimes it's a little bit hard to get things off the ground because you need kind of scale from the beginning.
Well, can't complain. I mean, fortunately, I have resources, but of course, in this kind of a situation, because it is a startup, it is a separate startup than my normal business. We also need funding, but that's where the crypto comes in, right? I mean, you can literally sell or pre-sell the tokens at a percentage of what it will be launched at, which means that immediately on launch, people have already made money.
So now you're in pre-launch?
Pre-launch right now.
So you have NFTs, so when you buy a room, that's an NFT that you can trade. And separately, you have a token for the company that is in pre-launch.
Yeah, and the token is designed to essentially support the purchase of NFTs, plus of course support the. Okay, so here's the thing. Okay, you have a token, right? Now, what are the things that make tokens go up? Basically, tokens out of circulation. Okay, so in crypto, you've got all these different tokens that are you farm them, right? And they'll give you interest, and some of them give you crazy interest, and of course then that lasts for 12 hours, and you're screwed. But the thing is that and with this interest, you can get more tokens or whatever, and if the token stays at a certain level, you're fine, right? But that's not what we're doing. I mean, what happens is that instead of giving you interest, we give what are called T-shares. All right. Now T-shares are basically the currency that you can use to basically go to a special marketplace, and actually get more travel. Okay, so you stake the tokens and you can get free travel. You can get, the more tokens you stake, the more free travel or the more type of high level travel you can get. So for example, under normal non-COVID circumstances, a private jet from Singapore to Bali, Bali, Singapore, or vice versa, costs $57,000. Right now, you can get it for $21,000. Now, I know that still sounds like a lot, but I mean, think about it, okay? Because one of the part of the ecosystem is you have a pool, right, or a vault. So that means you can get 7 people to go in there, all right? And then you basically go ahead and each person puts in, let's say, $4,500. Okay, now $4,500 for a private jet ride where you can, get your video guys to come in there and you can do your selfies and everything else. You can use it for marketing. You can do it. Hey, I'm, with my friends over here in my private jet, or in a private jet. I don't know why, but we're just, we're going over to Bali, and I mean, stuff like that. You can write it off as a marketing expense, and it's an experience that you would never be able to have otherwise, because who's going to pay $50,000? Well, there are people obviously that pay, but
do you have a community aspect too?
Well, that is the community, right? The community is so we've got the whole thing where we're creating. We will be communicating. Right now, we're still in the early stages, okay? But the point of creating the community is also find travel friends. Connect with other people. And when you were talking about Airbnb and Booking.com and all these, we are not competing with them. In fact, we go ahead and show all of the reviews from Airbnb or from Booking.com on there with links to their profiles.
That's great because that allows you to have that trust already.
Yeah,
rather than recreating.
And it's not just the hotels, though, right? I mean, it's the standard tourist price used for a river raft ride was $46, I think, before COVID. Okay, I mean, you can get it for 100,000 rupiah right now. Okay, if or less.
How do you get things listed there? Because people need to know about it.
Well, yeah, I mean, the first thing is getting the tech finished. Okay, so we're about a week and a half away from at least getting the whole NFT thing set up and done so that it all works properly. All the code is done now. They just have to connect all the code with the actual website. And the token is already finished. It's already put on everything because that was a prerequisite for the launchpad.
You built it on Binance Smart Chain.
Yes, because Binance is cheap. Okay, and it needs to be cheap. The gas fees need to be cheap so that people will use it.
So do people need MetaMask?
Well, okay. Yes, they can use MetaMask, But remember, this is a mainstream project.
Well, that's why I asked.
Okay,
How
which
do you
means that what we've got another wallet called Portis.
Okay.
Okay,
So you have your own wallet.
it's not our own wallet, it's somebody else's wallet that we can put on our website that basically allows you to put in your own username and password.
Okay.
Okay, and it's called a Portis wallet. So they basically allow us to use that system.
So it's a kind of MetaMask made for the mainstream.
Yeah, and it's just like logging into LinkedIn. Okay, and the other thing is we're also incorporating the FIO protocol. Okay, this is cool because see, for example, you could have, let's say you own Alex Villas. Okay, so you could have your crypto address, Alex@Alex Villas, and that means somebody wants to send you money, they can send it to Alex@Alex Villas.
Rather than to 7BC.
Yeah, 0x14, whatever, right? So that one's after we get going a little bit, but that part is because FIO is a nonprofit organization. They actually help you and give you resources to put that into your system. So, and the NFTs can be signed that way. So you can have Villa 1 at Hyatt, okay, or Villa 14 at Vulgari.
So that's the tech part. Was it easy to create the token on Binance Smart Chain?
It's just a matter of money. You pay people, they build it, right? I mean, I'm not going to say it's easy or hard. I mean, you hire the programmers. Yeah.
Well, because I think not far from now, it won't be like maybe someone like me could take 2 hours and create one token.
Possibly. Well, I mean, you can see the thing is, depending on what you're doing, you can fork a lot of tokens, right? So it's just a matter of, do they fit the system you're building?
So yeah, that token and then the NFTs that you integrate everything on the platform, and you can do it with an ID and password.
Yeah, and you'll also be able to stake your NFTs. So besides staking the token, the other thing you'll be able to do is literally stake the NFTs. That means you'll be able to go ahead and put that based on the value, because market value increases. And we show the market value on the website based on region, okay? So how much percentage the market value has gone up, and it automatically increases the prices of the value of the NFTs.
Super interesting. And so then, the tech's all good, you got a beautiful platform. What's the growth strategy? How do you get, is it first to have offer, to have as many hotels, and then how do you manage demand? And we thought about a marketing plan.
Okay, well, the majority of the marketing is going to be Instagram and YouTube. Okay, based on the research.
That's for demand.
For demand, yes, yeah. I mean, getting, of course, right now we're starting in Bali. Okay, because trying to start international before you get everything.
Is it easy to get hotels on board?
Actually, when we first started to talk to hotels and tell them that it was crypto related, they go, sorry, we can't talk to you, okay? Because immediately.
Now you just go like, I'll buy some rooms.
yeah. When we changed the strategy to we want to buy vouchers in advance, and you have to sign a contract, then it was easier. Unbelievable. I mean, it's like people are freaking scared of the technology.
What's this scammer gonna?
Yeah. They think you're a scammer or something. I don't know, man. But it ultimately is like you will get paid this much for this. Okay. And originally, I mean, the deal was we will use the income, 51% of the income from the TRVL token will be used for purchasing the actual assets, the NFT assets. But right now what we're doing is we're just going to people and saying, hey, we'll sell it for you, and if we sell it, you get money like within 15 minutes.
That's pretty attractive. One question though for them, like a hotel, is it's a Bulgari. Are they happy? So if they sell it to you now at like 5 times less, are they happy that it'll be used in 4 years when it's going to be?
Yeah, I mean, the thing is we've got a contract, and we don't just take anybody. Okay, I mean if it's like some decrepit villa and they just
Because you need trust.
you need trust. Yeah. We want to make sure that the people that are going to buy these things will be able to use it sometime in the next 5 years. I mean, if they don't use it, that's on them.
Yeah.
Okay. But the thing is that people can. The best part is if they remember, they'll be able to sell it. Okay. It's just remember that if you're in a crypto space, you'll probably be able to really maximize the profit potential of this whole thing, because that's what you're doing. You're investing and selling and buying and stuff like that. But the mainstream, they forget. I mean, it's just not top of mind. So everybody wins, okay? The hotels will still get double usually of what you paid, more or less. And because most or almost half of the assets will not be used. And those that do use it are the kind of people that might say, oh, I bought 3 nights, but I'd like to stay for another 2, and then they have to pay the rest.
And right now, I guess they also need cash flow.
Yeah, and that's the thing, right? I mean, okay, let's just look at Bali Air, for example. They've got helicopters. Well, you can't just let a helicopter sit around, because you don't have people flying it. You have to do the maintenance. You have to run the engine. I mean, all of these things cost money.
Yeah, that makes sense. That seems like a pretty good idea.
Well, thank you.
Pretty good execution too. So on that trust part, so we have a kind of that innovative way to think with the token and the NFTs, and then you have a market that's really done with, so it works for people who buy now, it works for hotels. It's a good timing. To have that trust, usually people would bet on tourism going back to how it was.
Yeah, I mean, it will eventually. It might not go back this year, but we got until the end of 2025. And plus, on the trust side, being best-selling author and a reasonably public person, currently like this year being ranked as #1 thought leader in culture, it gives the crypto side some credibility, because there's a lot of projects out there where the people are not very public or whatever, and so I mean I can't go anywhere. So if this doesn't go well, I'm screwed, because it affects my visible profile.
Yeah. And I guess there's no reason why we don't come back. At least 5 years is a pretty long time span. Then I'm curious also, so right now, the offer to someone is pretty simple. It's like, hey, prices are like 5, sometimes 10 times cheaper if you buy the NFT now. It's a bargain. How about, when tourism goes back to normal, what's the added value of your platform?
Well, see, here's the thing. There are always depressed areas or depressed situations, right? Okay? I don't know if you've ever been to Ethiopia, for example. Okay? Ethiopia is super cool. Okay, I mean, you've got all these like crazy markets and stuff, and the people are super, super nice, and I mean, it's just this whole other place. But a few years ago, they're having some political issues where now you've got, I mean, there was all these different problems where it was dangerous to go there because of all of this stuff. So that means obviously and also Turkey, same kind of thing. Okay.
Or like Thailand after the tsunami.
Yeah. So you've got all these different top places.
And when for a time you don't want to go there, but in 3 years it's gonna be fine.
Yeah, and even Bali after the Brahm. Okay, everything just went down. So there's always going to be something that is depressed where it will go back up.
So you kind of smoothen the market.
Exactly, and plus we've got this other thing. Okay, so we've got this other thing. Okay, it's called the flash sale app, right? So let's say, for example, it's low season, and we can go to Hyatt, Bali, okay, whatever, okay, and we'll say, hey, we'll buy 100 rooms okay, at this price, okay? And but you know, so we have to, in order to buy 100 rooms, we have to actually get money for all that 100 rooms. So we have an app that says, okay, we've got 100 rooms, we've got to fill it up. And then it's basically, it's a social thing where people that, in order, if they want to get those nights, or 100 nights, okay, they have to invite people.
Like Groupon.
Yeah, I'm not really sure, maybe. Do they do that?
They were doing deals, but that only unlocked if you had enough people.
Yeah, something like that, exactly.
Then they changed everything.
Oh, okay, well anyway, so you have to have, let's say Haya will only do it if you have the whole 100, so that means that the people basically have to invite people and you know, use social and everything else, and they get extra points which will help them to make future purchases and all these different things. Plus, of course, remember they're in the Galileo system, so they get more T-shares, and so all of these things will allow will encourage or gamify people to essentially bring more people into the system, so that they can, you know, buy the whole 100 rooms.
Smart. I used to be a growth hacker in my previous startup careers, and so that thinking how you can use referral and smart.
Yeah, and there's all kinds of stuff there where you can set that up with, you know, and building an app is not too difficult.
Mm. I'd love to. I feel like I know quite well about the project now. I hope the listeners do. And I'm also interested in you personally, Arthur. You talked about building a personal brand. You think that's important?
Oh, it's essential. Okay, I mean, the okay. First of all, you know, I hang out with like people like Marshall Goldsmith and John Mattone and all these guys, right? You know, all these big brand names and everything else. And you know, some of these guys, some of their stories, I mean, you know, they were successful in one thing, and then suddenly they got one big break, right? And that one big break was, you know, what basically propelled them into bigger breaks, because, you know, they were able to leverage on that. Okay. The thing is, though, that not everybody else gets a big break, and you know, I come from a small town. I have a high school education. I never finished university. My parents were not rich or anything, and you know, I mean, I managed to kind of maneuver my way in college by collecting all these you know, financial aid kind of things that people were giving and stuff. And so anyway, the only reason that I was able to achieve the status was because I focused on making myself famous. And this was long before the, like, you know, Instagram, right? Okay, so and now with tools like Instagram and Facebook and everything else, I mean, if you really build yourself up with podcasts, or you know, where and all of these other things that you're doing, your brand becomes bigger.
I just need to move some of my podcasts to Telegram now because I've been censored a bit on Instagram.
Oops.
Happens.
It does.
But yeah, we on board with that personal brand.
Yeah, but or try YouTube.
Mm.
YouTube is.
They're censored a bit too.
Oh, they censor you too?
Some. This will be fine.
Oh, okay. That's good.
But yeah, overall, anyway, tools can change, but the idea is to build that reputation so people can trust you.
Yeah, and you know, and the way to do that is give shit away for free, okay, and get everybody going, whoa, this is so cool. Okay, so a lot of times people focus on making the money so that they can survive. I was barely surviving by giving everything away, but ultimately that's what developed the brand and ultimately led me to do better than survive.
To success.
Yeah.
Made it. I'm quite curious, as you know, you're known as one of the world's top thought leader in organizational structure.
Culture.
Oh yeah, culture. Yeah, what drew you to this business in particular?
But like you said,
blockchain too.
I mean, okay, so blockchain is cool. Okay, I mean, blockchain is blockchain's fun. I
Do
mean,
you,
you know,
do you
you.
feel like now if you go to a party and you say I work in blockchain, it's cooler? So.
Oh no! I say, well, yeah. My wife probably wouldn't really be up for that, but but the thing is that, you know, with the blockchain is the future. Okay, I'm not because of decentralized government or conspiracies or anything like that. I mean, it just is, right? It's easier, it's faster. You're in control. Okay, it's the same thing with, like, before, like, people would say email. Wow, you know, they were so few people using email, and then it got to like, was it MySpace? And people said, oh, MySpace will never do anything, and then of course Facebook came along and took over the world, right? So everything, all of this stuff is ultimately adopted. Sometimes it takes time, but the reason that people, I mean, just looking at Facebook gives you control of your sense of value. Okay, so going back to the psychology of stuff, right? Okay, so we as human beings instinctively need to have a sense of value. Okay, we have to feel that we are worth something or we are valuable. So that's why, you know, sometimes, you know, all these management guys will say, oh yeah, you know, make sure that you recognize people. Well, it's a lot more than that, because recognition is only one motivator, right? But a sense of value could be, oh, I have lots of actual friends, okay? So this kind of sense of belonging. Or a sense of value can be, you know, a sense of achievement. Okay, not just the recognition that you get from the likes and the comments and the shares, right? So it's a sense of achievement is like, oh wow, look, you know, I did better than this person, okay, or whatever, right? So you've got and even like contribution, where, you know, you feel like you're doing something, or you know, or a sense of excellence, where you feel that your banner is, you know, super cool and you designed it yourself. I mean, all of these things are emotions, right? Mm-hmm. So Facebook literally gives you control over all of the acquisition of these emotions, right? I mean, before, you know, you go to work, right? And, you know, when you're with your friends at work, they go, hey, that was a good job you did on that project. It's like, okay, and then they share it to other people, and that's like, oh, comment or share, and all these other things. So you got this emotional gratification from human beings. Now you're in control. You don't need those human beings anymore. That's why, like, the whole leadership thing, before, the leader used to be kind of like the ultimate person to kind of give you that sense of value. Now you got Facebook or Instagram.
And so with to go back to blockchain, you feel it's like it does something better, so that's what it's going to do.
It does, and that's where, you know, blockchain is, you're in control.
Your token.
You are in control. So now, because you're in control, now you get to feel that, okay, that besides the sense of control, you feel that, you know, you are able to get all of these other emotions, because maybe you belong to communities, you know, related to blockchain, or, you know, again, I mean, it becomes, you know, how many people are friends with their banker? I mean, it's not a thing, you know. It's kind of like being friends with your lawyer. It only happens in the movies, and so you have so blockchain provides more diversity, more versatility, and more control.
And I think it's really interesting to have people who are using blockchain from that more agnostic place, because I know I'm the kind of person that would use a service rather than the other, just because blockchain is decentralized and because I'm feeling like I'm supporting. But
there you go. You'll use Galileo Travel Futures.
Yeah, I really like this the idea. Well, so how do you get the tokens?
Well, okay. First of all, they're only on pre-sale, so there's a wait list right now. On launch, the tokens will be launched at 12.6 cents. Okay. Currently, for small investments of up to $500, you can get them for 10 cents. Larger investments can be up to 4 cents per token, depending on the. So that would be back to the element of seed capital.
And do you have like a place where it's outlaid and how much?
Well, if you go to
space?
Galileo.holiday and and you click on tokens in business, there's a little button there. It says buy tokens, and it'll take you to a place where you can join a wait list.
Okay. I'll have a look.
Okay.
Listeners, wanna have a look?
There you go. Listeners, have a look.
Sounds like a smart project. That's it.
Well, it is, and but the thing is, again, it depends, right? There's all these like crypto guys that look at it. It's like, where's your impressive tech? Where is it that your token is creating some special anti-robot function? Where is like, it's not what it's for. It's not about, so it's about real people that want to get a good deal on travel.
Yeah.
And buy assets that they can feel safe with.
Yeah. Yeah, because a lot of tokens about how you create the best token
Yeah.
without knowing what it's for. So yeah, I think it's very encouraging for the blockchain communities and ecosystem also that people like you use it. It's that bridge.
I mean, it ultimately it's life experience, right? What you whatever you want to do with your life, okay, will often, not always, often require some money, okay? And you want to go traveling, you need some money, okay? You want to build a big house, you probably need some money, right? But all of these things, can ultimately be transformed into blockchain. Okay, example, the other project that we're working on, because which is going to be done after we launch Travel Futures and make sure that the COO is managing and everything, is another NFT project, but that one's taking advantage of social networks in my frame of or my scope of existence. Okay, so Marshall Goldsmith, Tony Robbins, all these guys, okay, have their own NFTs. Okay, and ultimately those NFTs have an intrinsic value of time from that person. Okay, so so when you buy an NFT for Marshall Goldsmith, okay, you can have 1 hour of time every year virtually. Okay, and on top of that, you maybe get access to whatever, and so all of these things, and then you also get, each of these gurus also get their own token depending on where they go. But so this is also an NFT. It's like baseball cards, except now it's thought leader cards.
It's interesting what you can do with NFT. People have talked a lot about digital arts, but vouchers, that's a very good idea. I'm going to co-create an event early September where it's a mastermind, and it's like buying your ticket, but you buy an NFT instead of buying a ticket, because a ticket to an event, you buy your ticket and it's an exchange, and money is gone, you attend the event. Well, here we create a community where you buy your tickets, you buy an NFT, but then you keep your NFT, and that's like a little bit of a badge of being part of a community, but that can also increase in value if we do good things with the community.
Absolutely.
There's interesting things to link the NFT not just to a piece of art online, which is great, but can be a bit limited, and things that are more correspond to something physical or some community or some specific project.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's the thing. It's the technology is not limited to technology.
That's a good way to put it. We'll go towards the end of that interview now.
Okay.
I'd love to ask you, well, first, how can people follow you, the project, what's next?
Wow, okay, so you can go to Instagram, Travel Futures on Instagram, Travel Futures on Medium, Future Travel on Twitter. Yeah, Twitter. People actually use Twitter still. And if you're interested in me personally, you can find me on Instagram at Arthur Carmazzi. If you are interested in, and of course, go to Galileo.holiday or Travel Futures Club, both are the same place, for the website on travel, on what we're doing in the blockchain thing.
Okay, thank you so much, Arthur.
My pleasure.
Thank you for creating this exciting opportunity and sharing it with me and the people who listen and watch.
Oh yeah. Oh, and of course, if people want to come over to Avalon, you want to have some coffee or something, you can just look at Avalon Ubud on Google or avalon.villas.
Really nice place. I was there for Halloween party.
Yeah, well, we got, the secret passages and, all the moving bookcases and stuff, so it's kind of cool.
Looks like you're having fun.
Absolutely. Well, that's what life is for, right? Yeah, my wife says I have too much fun, but my kids appreciate it.
But the inner child is still fun.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Arthur. And thank you to everyone who listened and watched. Do you have anything else you'd like to share?
No, just, stay awesome. Think out of the box or create your own boxes.
It's a good one. Thanks, Arthur.
My pleasure. And cut! Oh, and Instagram. Instagram people are still watching, possibly.
Sorry, we forgot about it.
Yeah, it's
No,
all right.
good.
We're all there, so we're good.
But the main thing is the YouTube. And
Yeah. So we're
video.
gonna actually turn this into like a video and
But
do
that will be
something
in a
else.
month. So now you have it earlier here on Instagram.
And what do I do? How do we turn it off? How do we turn Instagram off? Oh, that one. Okay, there it is. Did it work?
Turned off, or should I keep
Oh, there it
pausing?
goes. Okay, end video.